Hey everybody, so I've got a busy week coming up for TFL. Right now I'm on my way to go pick up a toy. You can see the empty trailer for TFL Off-Road. And then later in the week, I'll be going on a road trip down to Detroit for a Jeep press conference. And this week I'm driving this. That's the 2019 Dodge Durango GT all-wheel drive. Now just throughout my normal activities, we're gonna see how this thing works as a tow vehicle, and we'll find out how it is on a road trip. And of course, we're going to do an MPG test long range, so stay tuned. Alright guys, we've arrived at our destination and look at what we just picked up. Woo! That is a Yamaha Wolverine X2 fit with the Camso track kit. Now, this machine has a wet weight of just over 1,500 pounds, and no doubt that those tracks add a nice amount of weight. Our trailer here is about 2,000, so I don't have an actual specific weight for you, but this is probably somewhere between, I would guess, 37 and 4,000 pounds as an entire package. So now we're gonna tie her down. We'll get this Durango back out on the road, and we'll see how she operates as a toy hauler. Let's go. All right, Wolverine is hooked up and we are hitting the highway right now. So like I mentioned, this is the Durango GT, which means that it is fit with just the Pentastar V6. But you know what, I say just, it's still nearly 300 horsepower, so the numbers are decent. And here, I'm burying my foot now. Okay, it's not bad. The weight is definitely back there. There's no doubt about that. You know, if this was the Hemi or, you know, even that massive 6.4 V8, this weight would have felt way lighter. With this V6, you feel it back there. And this is over half of this vehicle's tow capacity. So the V6 Durango is rated to pull 6,200 pounds, and like I mentioned a little earlier on, I'm putting this probably at about 3,800 pounds, so we're just a little bit over half. So you would expect this engine to still, you know, totally pull fine, and it's okay, but it's being worked. It doesn't feel like there's any squat actually driving this thing. It feels nice and flat. No, you know, light steering wheel, nothing like that. So in terms of, you know, the suspension handling the weight, the Durango is doing great. Clearly Dodge thinks you're going to be towing in the Durango because the brand just added an integrated trailer brake controller. It's down here to the right of my steering wheel, and it's always nice to have an integrated brake controller. You don't have to worry about an aftermarket unit, and my trailer here does have trailer brakes, and you know what, they work great. And this isn't a massive amount of weight, but you know what, it's enough. 4,000 pounds is more than enough to really, you know, work your brakes, so it is nice to have trailer brakes. Okay, here comes a big right-hand sweeper onto the highway, so let me give it some brakes. Yeah, the brakes feel strong, and again, that's a combination of Durango brakes and trailer brakes, but the brakes feel nice and strong, and it wants to stop this thing in a hurry. So I'm basically across the city now. I've been towing for a good hour with this X2 on the back, and basically the story doesn't change. Once you put some weight on this Durango, it's still a big, comfortable, lofty kind of SUV. It just sort of floats down the road. The extra weight on the back doesn't seem to have affected the suspension basically at all. It hasn't gotten stiffer. I wouldn't say it's gotten really softer either. It just feels basically the same. So yeah, there's no doubt that towing with this Durango is a nice, comfortable affair. I guess the only complaint I have is the power. I said this earlier, and after driving it with it for a bit now, it's just enough power. And if you were to push this thing right up to the 6,000 or 6,200 pound tow limit, then this Pentastar is going to really start to feel worked, I think. With this load on the back here, it's enough power. Some more passing power and some more accelerating power would be pretty nice. But then again, I think I'm spoiled because I'm so used to towing with half-ton trucks with big V8s these days. So you know what? In that context, yeah, this feels a little bit weak, but it's certainly no issue getting the load moving, and it's enough on the highway. Hey guys, so it's day 2 with the Durango, and I just showed up here at my property to do some testing. You can see the Wolverine is still on the trailer back there. So for this trip, I didn't stop and get gas, so I'm not doing the actual fuel pump test. I just ran the trip computer, so let's take a look. And I just did 194 kilometers this morning, and I burned at 18.9 liters per 100. And for you US folks, you can switch over the units here on the screen. So we'll switch over to miles per gallon, and that is a total of 12.4 miles per gallon. And just a reminder, that's with about a 4,000 pound trailer, and regardless of the weight, there's a whole nother factor, which is just all the drag that thing produces back there. So not a huge surprise, but certainly not too efficient. Well, everybody, I'm an idiot. I totally underestimated how much snow is here. I got the shovel. Let's see if I can't dig this stupid Durango out. It's not the Durango's fault, it's my fault. Alright, well that's enough of physical labor. We're moving to plan B. Alright everybody, sit rep. Durango, totally stuck in the snow. I'm an idiot. I thought I could get in here. I definitely cannot get in here. And you know what? Coming in, I was taking it real slow. And once I made it kind of past the point of no return, I went for it. I ended up in this stupid snowdrift. And right up there, like 10 feet ahead, is another patch of dry ground. Anyways, I tried digging it out. That didn't work. It could work if I stayed committed to it, but you know what? I have machines here. I got this beauty. So I'm gonna pull the X2 off. We're gonna try to pull this rig back out the way it came in with the X2. Now, I am alone today, so I don't advise you ever do any of this. But like I said, this isn't reality television. This is real, man. I'm I'm not happy about this, trust me. So this was definitely not how I wanted to test these tracks, but admittedly, it is a pretty good test to see how much power these things really get to the ground, especially in the snow. So I got a really stuck Durango and trailer. I got it hooked up. It's in neutral. Now, normally I'd be worried about it kind of rolling away, but with the snow, it should have some good back pressure. I'm gonna go super slowly, really nice and gentle, and yeah, let's see if it moves. Fingers crossed for me. I'm sick of digging. All right, X2, we're gonna go in low 4-wheel drive, of course. Real good. And now it's just a question of weight, right? I mean, that whole rig is so heavy. And that's one of the critical mistakes I made, was trying to pull the trailer in. The trailer's 2,000 pounds by itself. It's dug into the snow now too. This sucks. Okay, next move in Project Get the Durango Unstuck is disconnect the trailer. Then maybe I can get it out all by itself. All right, trailer's off. I replaced the wood with a couple of bricks. Because not only is the wood tall, but it's very slippery. So, let's see if these nice interlocking bricks don't work a little bit better. And I'm hoping without the trailer, we're good. Fingers crossed. Let's do it. well, that's half a victory. Still got a trailer, and I'm not sure I can actually get the machine around the trailer at the angle it's at, so I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. But anyways, Durango's unstuck. The all-wheel drive system did work. Once I turned the traction control off, it did seem to be true all-wheel drive, splitting the power around. The key there was just getting something under those tires, and the bricks really helped. The bricks gave it the traction that the wood just couldn't. Okay, again, don't look at this as bad news about the Durango. Just look at me like I'm an idiot, because you shouldn't drive into snow this freaking deep. It's April, this shouldn't happen. And for those of you wondering what happened to that trailer, well, I managed to get the X2 onto the right side of it, and luckily the hitch was up high enough that I could lower it down onto the hitch of the Wolverine, and that thing pulled the trailer right through the snow. Sadly though, I don't have any footage of it. And good morning, everybody. So take a look, it's just after 5 a.m., 5:03. And I'm on my way down to Detroit. Well, Auburn Hills specifically. I'm headed to Jeep headquarters to go check out the Moab Easter Jeep Safari concepts. So as you know, I'm in this Durango. I'm here at the gas station. We're gonna get some fuel and hit the road, and I'm gonna log the fuel economy the whole way. Should be a pretty long round trip, over 600 kilometers. So we'll see how this V6 equipped Durango does. All right, we got a full tank of gas, and I'm on trip A here. Currently this thing's getting 15.5 liters per 100. So we're gonna reset. Boom. So now trip A, we're gonna follow this one all the way along, and let's see if we can't beat that 15.5 it was getting before. I'm gonna be cruising on the highway, doing between 110 and 120 kilometers an hour. Let's see how this big SUV does. Alright guys, here we are at the Chrysler Technology Center, and of course it's the place where you'd find a brand new Gladiator Rubicon just sitting out in the parking lot. It's the first one I've seen in the wild. So we pulled in, we're parked. Let's see how we're doing down here on the fuel economy. So far we've done 229 miles, and we're getting 22.6 miles per gallon. Now I do feel like that's a good number for such a big SUV. However, the EPA disagrees with me. The EPA rating for this Durango, all-wheel drive V6 Durango, has it at 25 miles per gallon on the highway. And this is all highway miles. That's pure highway, no city at all. So besides the fact that 22.6 seems decent, we're not matching what the EPA says. Now, this is only half the trip, so we're gonna add another 230 miles when we head back home this afternoon, and we'll see if we can't get that number a little bit higher. Okay guys, we're just taking off here from Chrysler headquarters back in the Durango. We saw some really cool Jeeps, and we're back on the road. So currently we're still at 22.2 miles per gallon. There's twos across the board. We've done 230 miles. We're about to do another 230 miles, and we'll see where our fuel economy sits at the end of this entire trip. Back to the Durango here. Infotainment system is excellent. Uconnect has been good for a long time. It still is. One of my favorite things, it might seem simple, but it's just that you have a seek knob, and as you turn that knob through the satellite radio channels, the channels just bang off as quickly as you turn that knob. They keep up with your turns, and that's actually not the case in a lot of vehicles. Sometimes you can turn that knob really fast, but the channels will only turn so quick, whereas FCA, the system is really fast. It seems to be very responsive with every little move you make, and yeah, you know what, it's been excellent. All right everybody, just pulling up to our final gas pump right now to fill her back up. Now this actually ended up not being the same station I was at this morning. It's close by, but I just ended up coming home a bit of a different way. So what is our trip? Total trip mileage, 735 kilometers. And fuel economy on the computer is reading 10.5 liters per 100 kilometers. And it says that our total trip was 8 hours and 10 minutes, which is, again, for this big SUV, pretty good. 10.5 liters per 100. That's just sort of my gut feeling on it, is that number for this big machine is pretty good. And once we switch the units, we see we've done 456 miles and we're getting 22.4 miles per gallon. Now again, just on the initial sort of gut check, 22.4 for this big Durango seems pretty good, and that is 1 mile per gallon better than the combined rating. The combined for this vehicle is 21. However, the highway rating, as I've said, is 25 miles per gallon, and we just did probably 95% of our miles all on the highway, and we could not hit that 25 MPG, although that's what we're here at the pump for. Let's go fill up and we'll do the math ourselves and see if the number's any different. And boom, there's the click. So now we wait 30 seconds and then we'll keep going one more click. Then we'll do some math. Alrighty, there's 30. Boom, there it is. Let's figure out this fuel economy. So we look here, I used 81.048 liters. So we go ahead and take 81.048 and we divide that by the distance traveled, which in this case is 735 kilometers. And then you multiply it by 100 to move the decimal, and we come up with 11 liters per 100 kilometers, which is pretty close to what the computer says. The computer says 10.5. So the real math is saying it's slightly worse than what the computer says. Now, if we switch over real quick to US, we're at 22.3 miles per gallon. And if we just look at the straight up conversion, 11 liters per 100 equals 21.383 MPG. So the real math says that we got the combined EPA number. Again, the computer's being just a little bit generous, really not bad. But yeah, we could not get that highway EPA number, and that's the disappointing part of this test. I've said it a couple times, I'll say it again. Over 20 MPG, 21, 22 for this big rig seems pretty decent, and that's where this V6 is really going to set itself apart from all the big V8 options you can get in the Durango now. If you want the fuel efficient option, this is it right here. I just wish it was a little bit better on the highway. Would have been nice to really hit that 25 MPG, but we didn't quite get there. All right, everybody, so I'm just getting home now. It's been a long day. It's 5 p.m. right now, so I've basically been gone for 12 hours on the dot. I'm just about to pull in my driveway, and this Durango, I have to say it again, was really good for a road trip vehicle. It just ate up the miles today, absolutely swallowed them up. Nice, comfortable cruiser. And here we are back home. So I hope you enjoyed this Durango review. It was really neat to really, show you guys what I do with the press vehicle in the course of a week. And this week was, a little bit special because I had a lot going on, but this is the kind of stuff that we're always doing, running around, and I'm happy I can bring it to you guys firsthand. So head down in the comments, let me know what you think of the Durango. Let me know what you think of the Moab Easter Jeep concepts. I know that's not this video, but hopefully by now you've already seen them, and it was a pleasure to go see them in person. And as always, hit the subscribe button and come right back here to TFL for the latest news, views, and real world reviews. See you later.